everyone. All right, so we have some updated information about the Department of Homeland Security apparently has amended their statement, although one outlet was already reporting it correctly. KNWA potentially led people to believe that there was a raid at the home of the Duggars. However, Channel 5 News in that area, the CBS affiliate, they reported yesterday that HSI had confirmed that they were at a business associated with Josh Duggar. And then when KNWA ran their story yesterday, they said that it was at the home of the Duggars. Well, they went back and actually amended it and said that the agents went to a business at the 1400 block of Wildcat Creek Road in Springdale. And the agent said, I do not dispute the information you've obtained. That is the location that we were. I cannot speak to the status of any ongoing investigation, but I do not dispute that we were present at that specific address. They also confirmed that there was an ongoing federal criminal investigation. However, given that there are no charges filed, HSI does not discuss the nature of any type of investigation until if or when charges are filed. I can discuss the reason for our being there. And then they asked if Josh was a part of the investigation, and they said, I can't speak to any individual that may be under investigation, so I confirmed that we were at the address and spoke to the individuals at that location, but I can't discuss any individuals by name. So when asked if they were there to raid or search, they said, I'm not able to speak specifically, but in general sense, when a federal law enforcement agency is at a location pursuant to an ongoing federal investigation, there is a very narrow set of circumstances that would apply. And I would say that our present is consistent with that. I'm not able to discuss the exact nature. So according to the Washington County Collector's Office, the address is of the business listed where they were present is called Wholesale Motorcars. And Duggar doesn't actually own the location, like the property, but he's listed as the business owner for that location. And Washington County personal property records have listed Joshua and Anna Duggar at the same house, in the same home as their parents in Tontitown, Arkansas. So they moved back in with Jim, Bob, and Michelle. So there is some... So there's two things. They may have been at the home of Jim, Bob, and Michelle, but it wasn't raided. They might have just been interviewing people. Unmarked white cars were seen outside the home on a Sunday. And then they said if it has a narrow scope of what they would be doing. And accordingly, they were at that lot. Now, interestingly, that car lot had been selling cars and had cars on the lot as recently as last week, according to a source. Now, these were the unmarked cars I showed you earlier that were outside the Duggar home on Sunday. And there's the, this is the car lot that they were at today. This picture is courtesy of KNWA. Sources told me that this is actually empty now. So the lot was empty, but last week had at least 10 or 15 cars at a minimum. On the Wholesale website, it says, family owned and operated. We are your local source for cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. All makes, models, styles available. We're located on Highway 412 between Siloam Springs and Tontitown, Springdale, Arkansas. This is their website now. It's completely empty. It says under construction. There's nothing there anymore. But if you notice, they were posting cars as of September and selling them. And then reviews from the site were not that great. This one says they arranged to meet Josh there, who had posted a picture of a car. The vehicle had damage to the driver's side door panels, which was evident in the posting. When I asked if the door worked, he said it worked great. I arranged to meet him at 10. I got there and I decided to check the door. The vehicle was locked and all the doors worked was unlocked and all the doors worked beside the driver's side door. Unlike what he indicated, it was completely stuck shut from the warping of the metal. I waited 10 more minutes and he still didn't show up. I messaged him by disappointment and went on. I believe this person just wanted to get someone on the lot and was deceitful about his methods to do so. Steer clear. This person posted cons, terrible vehicles that fall apart. Now, there's another auto car lot that's in the same area. It's Champion Motorcars. That's the dealership that's owned by Jed and his dad. That's still active, but there was no current registration in the state for Wholesale Motorcars. But apparently it might be listed under another company called Five Stone Group LLC. Now, he also owns a separate auto dealership called Duggar Automotive, which was also, according to sources in the area, not open today. My sources in the area said that there were several people that appeared to be, whether it was federal, they looked to be like undercover people, like law enforcement, walked into the Duggar Automotive dealership this morning. The dealership did not open. I actually spoke to TMZ today. I was part of I actually tipped TMZ off on Sunday and had been helping them with part of their story that they just posted about an hour ago. And when I spoke to TMZ, they told me that when they called the Duggar Automotive, there was no answer. So the car lot that they have in Tontitown, the Wholesale, is empty. And the Duggar Automotive one still has vehicles on the lot, but it's closed, and there apparently are people allegedly there's people in the actual dealership doing something. So there's something going on with the cars. I don't know if it's, it's hard to know if there's something illegal happening at these dealerships, if they are trying to obtain like the financial information. I do know that a couple of his lots, he was actually in a fight with Springdale earlier last year because he had not registered the lots appropriately. They were zoned, I believe, they were zoned residential, but he was using them for commercial lots. And I know he was fighting with the city of Springdale related to Duggar Automotive at one point. He also has an ongoing lawsuit for real estate fraud that is still in the court system, and that trial is supposed to start in April. He's been fighting the city of Springdale related to his 2003 allegations of abuse of his sisters, and that case is still open in the appeals court. So there's a lot going on with Josh. There's no criminal cases at this point, but it appears that people around there are beginning to wonder if there's been some asset seizure by the Department of Homeland Security, and whether or not the IRS might be getting involved with this. At this time, there has been no comment from the IRS in relation to any ongoing investigations. So this is where we're at. I don't know, dudes. I mean, people in the area have suggested that there are some things that could be done illegally with these cars, whether or not they're transporting cars from foreign, like they're moving foreign cars here illegally. I mean, that could fall under trafficking. Whether they're moving cars back and forth illegally, again, that could fall under trafficking. Whether or not maybe the company itself is a front for something else, maybe a shell company for money laundering. That was another thing that was speculated by people in the area. Or could it be a place where they're using in order to do things, nefarious things to underage people? So many questions here and so many things that we don't know yet, but it's clear based on what I'm seeing that the target are companies owned by Josh, and Josh has a history of bad stuff. He's admitted to inappropriately touching at least 4 of his sisters and 1 babysitter. He's also been accused by a former person that he had a tryst with for battery. Now that woman actually was going to file a suit against him, and suddenly she had a new shiny car, and apparently any allegations against him abusing her were dropped. It appears that the Duggars have found ways to buy out people that have any sort of allegations against Joshua. And I don't know if this time he's done something illegally within the businesses that the feds just could not ignore. This appears to be the first time that the federal government has been involved in an investigation related to Josh. And it's still not known whether or not the investigation involved other members of the home. And a clarification is that Jedediah did move out of the family home. So he did say that he didn't know anything about the investigation because he didn't live there. So he apparently had to get an apartment because he's going to run for office against somebody in November, and he can't live at home. He has to have his own residence. And then there's all this messy stuff about, is Jim Bob involved? Are the other Duggars involved? At this point, this case is massive, and until we have an actual arrest, we don't know. But right now we know for sure that the target is these companies. And yes, and I should note that Anna Duggar is pregnant with his sixth child. She is actually due any day. She still has her, I was just looking at your comments in there, she still has her Instagram locked down. There has not been a lot of movement from most Duggars online in the past couple days. Jill posted earlier today about being brave, and that's about all I've got. The Duggars made an official statement, which I already read to you. They denied anything happened. There's nothing to see here, and that's kind of what they always do. So that's where we're at for right now. I'm hoping to cover something else related to the Duggars, but because the story is so fast and so furious, I get new information, and I just want to keep you guys abreast of what I'm learning. And being that they did actually confirm that they were at the address of Wholesale Motors LLC, I wanted to show you the empty car lot, and let you know that there could be potential asset forfeiture or seizure at this point. All right, you guys, I will be back later with more. Bye.